Well, the photos that were released on Tuesday or Wednesday of Gabriel Jesus training with the first team of Arsenal have gone ahead to surge the media questions towards Mikel Arteta. It looked like today the pre-match press conference of Arsenal versus Brentford was covered up in so much of Gabriel Jesus, and Mikel Arteta had lots of questions to answer, in which he was asked of a time frame, and obviously he went ahead to issue the time frame of which this guy, Gabriel Jesus, the player I regard as the most important player at Arsenal, is set to return. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. Rokani David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe. After subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. What is this? Sorry about it, but let's get into the mix. Let's see close to 200 likes matched onto this video because it's all about Gabriel Jesus' big return. Jesus's 10 days return ultimatum issued by the gaffer of Mikel Arteta. And today we are really blessed that he's not this kind of manager who has always been coming in through and obviously give a time frame for Jesus to return. This time round, we are blessed. He has issued the time frame, the number of days we should expect him to return here at Arsenal Olan Conley to play the game of Arsenal. Is he going to return against Sporting Lisbon, Fulham, Crystal Palace? Among us there, meaning that the ball is soon returning back to the training sessions of Arsenal, and I think you guys are really enjoying this and you're so much ready for this. Now, the first question raised to him was simple. Arteta on Gabriel Jesus' recovery from injury. He said he's not funner. I don't want to give a timeline, but he's doing certain things with the team and certain things outside the team. He's not very close, but he's not far at all. Now, this is something that Mikel Arteta is trying to really cover up very well, because if you know English very well, you can't say that he's not far now and then you tell us that he's not very close. So those two words are different if at all you are really analyze them using English, meaning that he just doesn't want to let people excited that Jesus is back. The fact is, Jesus is back, but they just don't want to hurry him up. You get? That's why he's lost in words. He's telling you that he's doing certain things with the team and certain things outside the team. And I've seen a certain credible journalist coming out and saying that Jesus is not yet back into the group training. The manager is telling us that he's doing certain things with the team and others not with the team. That is it. So I expect him to be back because of the photo I saw him standing with because of a photo I saw him standing with Bukayo Saka, meaning that they were doing certain things altogether. On this same question, he said he's feeling better every day and the doctors are confident with the way the injury is evolving. We are in a good place with him, I think. So Arteta is just lost in words. You know, he just wants to put a precaution because prevention is better than cure. The moment he tells Arsenal fans that Jesus is really ready to play, but they just don't want to hurry him up, they'll go all after him. If at all Arsenal doesn't win a game, they'll ask him, why are you keeping Gabriel Jesus away, all out of the match squad? Yet you told us in the press conference that he's ready to play. We don't want to hurry him back. Those will be the questions going back to Mikel Arteta. And he doesn't want to get such pelters from the fans. So he's just trying to handle it professionally. But if at all you look through this and you get to your magnifying glass and really magnify, get a telescope and telescope, the fact is Jesus is fit, but they just don't want to unleash him now because they know they can go past the game of Brentford. They knew they could go past the game of Leicester City, Bournemouth, this other team, Everton, Sporting Lisbon. Now, the question is, are they going to unleash him in the game of Fulham? Because it's going to be a tricky one and Mikel Arteta knows it. So, like what he did on Thomas Partey when Jorginho was there was no reason to hurry him back. and he only brought him back to play 45 minutes when they're playing Everton. You get? Against Leicester City played 10. So that's how you act and protect your players, if at all you know how crucial they are, provided you are having an alternative that can come in and really fill in that position very well. That is Mikel Arteta for you. And then Mikel Arteta was asked again about Gabriel Jesus on his recovery, on if Gabriel Jesus' recovery has been expected. He said, I think it's been pretty straightforward. At the beginning, we are really concerned with the possible extent of the injury because we are talking about a few options there. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. And this is where Arsenal made a decision not to sign a striker in the summer, because after them analyzing that in a space of 2-3 months the player is going to be back and his recovery was really miraculous, it blew the minds of the doctors away. They said, no need to sign in a striker. Let's go in for Leandro Trossard, who can play as a centre forward and a wide forward. Then they went in for him, but the injury was not bad and they expected him to return now. He concluded by saying, but it was a long-term injury. It required surgery. It's not pleasant, especially the first few weeks. But knowing Gabi, he's been through that before. His mentality is incredible and the team has done a really good job with him to put him in the position he's in today. Obviously, the team of Arsenal has really done lots of things to keep Gabriel Jesus in the situation in which he is in today of healing miraculously. Do you know why? If Arsenal was not performing very well and putting results back onto the table, Jesus would have been not having a comfortable, how do they call it? Rehabilitation, recovery, and everything concerning his healing. But because Arsenal was performing very well and they were keeping the top spot where he left them, that gave him faith and positivity in him. And if at all you've visited a doctor or anyone else, they'll tell you that what heals you is your faith. Even if you are sick and I get you a medication and you don't really believe that you're going to get healed, there is a 90% chance that that medication won't work on you. Now, the best medication Arsenal players gave to Gabriel Jesus was to win these games. And the way they returned from the World Cup when he was not there, they returned with a bang. They beat West Ham by 3-1. They beat Brighton, a team that had beaten Liverpool, Manchester United. They went away at City and they forced a 3-3 draw. Was it a 3-3 draw? Or at Liverpool. They forced a 3-3 draw at Liverpool. They beat Liverpool. Arsenal beat that team by 4-2. They drew with Newcastle. After drawing with Newcastle, they beat Tottenham Hotspur. After beating Tottenham Hotspur, they beat Manchester United 3-2. That's when the slippage came in through. But I believe it was something great that really led to the healing of this player, as Mikel Arteta is really trying to reveal to us. So Arsenal has been so much good to Gabriel Jesus, and obviously they really appreciate, and he really appreciated what they really went ahead to give him. Then, as I told you, that almost 60% of this press conference was all about Mikel Arteta. It was all about Gabriel Jesus. So I decided to do this Gabriel Jesus segment. I get it done. Then, if time allows, I'll return in the next segment and talk about what the manager talked about Brentford, because those things are still there. Edin Nketiah's injury, Jorginho, whether he's still ill or not, all that is coming in the second episode that we are going to reveal to you here onto this channel. Now, this is where the gist of the matter is, and Mikel Arteta came in through and gave us an answer that most of you have always been asking me, and finally, I have it from the mouth of the manager. Now, he was asked on Jesus' returning date before the international break. He said the following, that, so you want me to give you a time frame? That's it? So, a question was trying to answer a question, and I think they told him yes. So he replied to them and told them that, we don't know. I'm saying we are not far away, but obviously he has to do so much with the team. Let's see how the next week, hear this very well. Let's see how the next week, 10 days develop, and we'll have a much better picture. That is Mikel Arteta for you. that let's see the next week, 10 days develop, and we will have much better picture. I think now you have the answer. And one will ask me, Rokani, when is the international break? The international break is going to be there in between 17th. Oh no, it's going to be in between 19th, right? 18th, 19th to 31st March. So those 2 weeks, that's when the international break is going to be there. So everyone will be expecting him to return. People are expecting him to return after the international break, but when you look to what the manager is telling us, that is given 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days from now, that means next week Arsenal is going to be playing Fulham, and next week it's going to be 12th. 12th, Arsenal will be playing Fulham. Then 4 days later, they'll be playing Sporting Lisbon. And then before they go to the international break, on the 19th of March, they'll be playing Crystal Palace. So there are 3 more games after Bournemouth and Sporting Lisbon away from home, where Gabriel Jesus might get himself unleashed into this Arsenal side, if at all you are to refer to what the managers will go ahead to tell us, that in 7 or 10 days, Jesus might be back at the club of Arsenal doing what he does best. And these 3 games are really important. You get? I believe he's going to field a very weak team or a second string side away at Sporting Lisbon. But even if that team is second string, it's not weak. If at all you're having Matt Turner in goal, Tomiyasu right back, Kieni left back, Kivio and Rob Holding central defense, then Jorginho, Emily Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, not a weak team. Then Reece Nelson, Trossard, and maybe who else? I think Martinelli can come in through all, Bukayo Saka, one of those. But that's not a weak team. Visibly, it's not a weak team on paper, and it can go out and force a result away at Sporting Lisbon. Though Sporting Lisbon is a really good side, but they play an open game. They don't pack the bus. That might make it easy for Arsenal. So after that game, they're having 2 Premier League games and 1 UEFA Europa League game. One against Fulham and the other against Crystal Palace. So I believe that's when Mikel Arteta might unleash Gabriel Jesus. I believe next weekend, Jesus is going to be on the field. He's going to be among the players that are going to make a trip to London, because that's another London derby. Fulham is in London. Crystal Palace is in London. So Arsenal is playing 2 London derbies. One at home against one at home against Crystal Palace. That is the last game they play before you go to the international break. And one against Fulham, the game they are playing next weekend. And it's all good news for Arsenal that the player is returning, and international break, 2 weeks of rest. He would have played like some 30 minutes on average in 2 games. Then Brazil has not included him into the national team squad they've invited to go all and play in the international break. That means he's going to be really continuing with his recovering at London Conley and really practicing with the manager and getting back to full fitness. I know some games will be organized for the under-21s, and you might find him play there. Even this week, you might hear that Jesus has played really in the under-21. So it really looks good and great for Jesus. And in 10 days, between 7 to 10 days, Jesus is going to be here playing for Arsenal. And don't be surprised if at all in the next press conference that Mikel Arteta is going to hold on Wednesday away in Portugal, being told that he is going to play, or they've traveled with him, or he's going to return on Sunday when they are playing Fulham. So it all looks rosy for Arsenal fans of the world. You have every reason to jubilate about Gabriel Jesus. Now, Arteta on how well Arsenal has done without Jesus. He said, probably that wouldn't be fair on him because he was starting every single game. And what he produced for the team was phenomenal. It is true that we need to see when he's back, what level he is. Then he concluded by saying, now we are going to fit him. Now we are going to fit him in, and how we are going to load him with minutes and in which games. Like everybody else, he will have to earn his place, but we know that Gabi can give, but we know what Gabi can give to the team. So he's talking about the impact of Gabriel Jesus when he was around and when he has been away. So I like the way Mikel Arteta responded to this question, because I think they would have thought that he was going to go in and really say, all right, we've managed to gather some points, we've not performed badly. If at all you say you've performed badly, that means you are discrediting the players that have been there ever since Jesus has been away. If you say the team has performed better when Jesus is away, you will annoy Jesus. You get? So he has gone ahead to really respond to this question professionally, and obviously he has really gotten it right at that juncture. But he has said he has to earn his position back. Have you heard that word? He has to earn his position back. And to any elite manager, one thing you front is discipline in the dressing room, and secondly, merit over favoritism. Never pick players over favoritism. And I liked it when he benched Edin Ketia and brought in Trossard. When he benched Martinelli and brought in Trossard, because Martinelli was not performing well. And after him being benched, you are seeing the levels at which Martinelli is being played on. Ever since returned, 3 games, 4 goals. You get? That means Jesus is not going to come in and go directly to the team. He's going to first come in through as a substitute. Then if at all he proves that I'm back to the levels where I'm supposed to be, then he will go back and retain his position. So it was like a message being sent to Edin Ketia that please don't worry, Jesus has to come in and really score those goals to really get you out of the team. But for Jesus, it's not about the goals. It's all what he gives to the team. He makes all other players better. And I've always told you, I can't wait to see Jesus play alongside Trossard, Odegaard, Jorginho, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka. I don't know how the manager is going to go ahead and really compile his team all together, but I can't wait for that, guys. I'm eagerly waiting for that, and I'm all eyes for that. Lastly, Arteta on Martinelli stepping up in Jesus' absentia. He said, I think Martinelli in particular was really good playing with Gabriel Jesus, but we needed something different from the team and we had to adapt a little bit our way of playing because of the qualities Gabi has. Obviously, the qualities of Gabriel Jesus in Arsenal are really nowhere to be seen. He's the only one player who possesses them. That was really pleasing to see. So in general, it went probably better than expected, and now we have to continue to do that. Hopefully we can bring him back so he can help to take us to a different level. And you see how much Mikel Arteta believes in Gabriel Jesus, because he's talking about a different level. And do you know why he's talking about a different level? This man defends, he attacks, his heat map is all over the pitch. And the best quality he has is that he makes other players that play in the forward positions of Arsenal better. That's it. Secondly, he's a world-class forward. Working something out of nothing is what he feeds on. It's like his other second name. Even Trossard does it. Look at the goal that he really does or creates for Martinelli in the game of Leicester City. You know, getting that extra touch when he really controlled that ball very well from Gabriel Magalhaes, this defender Yates of Leicester City was thinking that this player is going to get that ball and really dribble past him. Yet, Trossard had already read the run of Martinelli and he really nutmegged him. He passed the ball through the legs of Yates, and Martinelli put one extra touch that was really having out of information that my next step is to curl that ball into the lower left bottom corner. And he did it. The game was killed off then. So, Trossard also has that. That's why I'm just insinuating how it's going to be if at all Gabriel Jesus and Leandro Trossard are put on the same field of play. Have you thought about it? I don't support Arsenal, but that really worries me because I fear players who are really good at the ball when they are just technically gifted. Jesus is, Leandro Trossard is. I think they are a very huge level ahead of Saka and Martinelli as far as being technically gifted is. The other player that is the same ilk with those two, that is Trossard and Jesus, is Odegaard. Odegaard is high up there, technically gifted player. I like that boy. Guys, thank you very much for watching it through. Tell me your reaction to Jesus's 10 days return ultimatum issued by Mikel Arteta today in a press conference. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. A sign out for now. See you later. Third video of the day. We are left with 2 and we are charged up to give you everything you guys deserve. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. A sign out for now. See you later, my lovelies.